Hi, I'm Danny Bailey. These are the reflections for the November 20th, 2012 daily readings of the lectionary. So see the link below, and I'll put the link onto the USCCB daily readings. But the readings are from Revelation 3, Psalm 15, and Luke chapter 19. What we hear in Revelation this Tuesday is that an echo of what Jesus had said about coming as a thief in the night. What does that mean for our spirituality? I mean, obviously we need to remain vigilant in our lives, in our conduct, in our prayer life. Just knowing that your faith matters every single day, and that's a tough thing to live up to. Certainly, sometimes we would all like to just take a day off, and do something fun for, something wild and fun for a change. But really, choosing Jesus, to follow His path. Every day that we take off, we're 4 steps farther behind, it feels like. So to remain vigilant is actually less work, if you think of it that way. One of the quotes from Revelation today is, "I am rich and affluent, and have no need of anything." That's when the Lord is talking about, I wish you were either cold or hot. I know that you're neither cold nor hot. So because you're lukewarm, neither cold nor hot, I will spit you out of my mouth. So what I think is so interesting about this is it's sometimes read as, well, God wishes that you were either a saint or a sinner and nowhere in between. Well, no, I don't think that's it either. But, some things are meant to be hot, some things are meant to be cold. And I think that's kind of how we need to read it. We don't have hot coffee that just becomes lukewarm. It's like, oh, well, it's so much better now. No, that's not the way it's made. Oh, look at this cold drink. Now it's warmed up to room temperature. Now it's kind of a blah. But that's kind of how things become when we just sort of let it slip back to, the regular routine. And, rather than keep a hot drink hot or a cold drink cold, we just let it become back to room temperature. Just kind of like fit in with the world again. So, that's our spirituality. Is, if God's calling you to be a hot person, and, or if God's calling you to be one of the cold persons. Not to say that that's like distant or something. It's just another image. It doesn't line up exactly to any kind of spirituality. But, if God made you this way, be this way. And rather than just slip into an old habit or something. I stand at the door and knock. We get this image again, which is in other places in the Gospels, and we hear it again in Revelation. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will enter his house and dine with him, and he with me. So I think that's what's so great about that is a lot of people are struggling with the new language on Roman Missal 3 about that last prayer before we receive communion. Lord, I'm not worthy that you should enter under my roof, but only say the word and my soul shall be healed. Certainly it's more scriptural. It matches up with the story of the centurion who asked Jesus to come into his home, but realized that he wasn't worthy. So we get the same image later in the gospel today with Zacchaeus, who Jesus comes to stay at his home. Stay at your house. I want to stay at your house, he says. And that's kind of a Eucharistic spirituality for us. That, we are Zacchaeus, we are the centurion, and, we realize we're not worthy that Jesus would enter under our roof and, want to dine with us. And that, it is a great honor to have an important person over to your house, certainly. I think we kind of lose that nowadays, because it's like, if anybody important comes to town, they'll just stay at the big hotel or whatever. And it's not like people important come to town and they need to stay at your house. But I'm sure that's what it was back in the day. That, if somebody important came to town, you want to be the one that they stay with, We've kind of lost that. But, Jesus comes through Jericho. He meant to just pass through town. But he chose to stop and stay with Zacchaeus and, really spend some time with him and honor him. And, give him the great privilege of having Jesus in his home for that night. So Zacchaeus' response is so interesting. We're in this sort of season of the Catholic Church of, stewardship campaigning, so to speak, and people are saying, well, what's the right amount to give to give as stewardship to the church? And it always comes back down to what about 10%? 5 can go to your parish, 5 can go to other important charities that you desire, or 5 and 4 and 1 goes to the annual Catholic appeal. However you want to do the math on that, Zacchaeus' answer is so much more difficult. He says, "Behold, half of my possessions, Lord, I shall give to the poor. And if I have extorted anything from anyone, I shall repay it 4 times over." That's not the math that our pastors nowadays are using to talk about stewardship. And I don't think it's a matter of math either. It's really a matter of the heart. Obviously that's the case when it comes to being vigilant, to being ready for Jesus coming as a thief. Not in a bad way, but it's sort of like we can live this life all the time. And, if you're eating, you're sleeping, you're living your life for God, then it would be so easy to give half your possessions to the poor, and the other half, would be for your ministry. It becomes a way of life, and it's sort of like, well, everything that I have is for God's glory, so only giving half would seem like cheating Him. I would hope that we could all get to that point where we're so trusting in the Lord that, half of our possessions seems like not enough, or it's like, I'm not trusting God with everything. But that's not really, they're not really talking about how much are you putting in the envelope. They're talking about, how strong is your faith. But also, how much money, how much do you give to help out the church. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Tuesday readings for November 20th, 2012. Thank you for watching. I hope to do some of these more often as I find time, as the inspiration comes to me. So, God bless you. Thank you for watching. I hope you stay in touch to watch again. And please leave a comment if you watched the video. If you liked it, if you disliked it, if you have any of your own thoughts, it can become a great discussion down below. So please be kind with your comments. Thank you.